Hey guys, it's Kenny, and boy did things not go as planned this episode. So, my video idea for this was to do a art challenge of only using the pencil tool in my iPad to recreate the look of the Sketchbook comics. Because, it's another series I run here on the channel. You should definitely check it out. Link in the iCard and the description if you want to see those. Got a playlist, self-promotion. But anyways, that was the plan. And I made this entire piece so I could go and talk about it, and it's going to be so cool. And then my iPad lost the footage. Yeah, I lost the footage for the first half of this because I'd recorded it in two different days, so in 2 different sessions. And the first session got lost, so 5 minutes of recording sped up, so it's 10 times recorded, was just gone. It was wiped off the iPad, and there was nothing I could do about it. So you guys are seeing the second half after the lining and everything. The good part is I did have a base sketch done before I did all the lining. So I will show you the base sketch at the end and then the finished product right after that. But other than that, there's not much I can do. And I'm sorry about that. But while I was doing this piece, I did take some observations of what it was like to draw like this on the iPad on a digital format, and the pros and cons of it, and stuff like that, classic stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and go over that this video instead of what I had planned. So let's get into this. I've got all my notes right here on my handy dandy notepad. And the first one I wrote down was difference in color. Because, yeah, there's definitely a difference in color from working from digital or to pencil. Or pencil to digital. I can speak, I swear. So, in the Sketchbook comic frames, to get a different in color, you just have to press down the pencil harder. And you'll get a darker color. Same as for just lightening up on it. You just don't press down as hard. But in here, you have to move the dial back and forth to change the color while working in grayscale. So, there's definitely a difference in color in that. You can especially see it in Kenny's hair and her wings. It's they're definitely a different color. John, he doesn't have much of a change because it's basically light gray, dark gray for his entire design. So, he didn't see much of that. So, that's good. The other thing I noticed was texture, which, when you're working digital, of course you're going to have a difference in texture. You're not working on a piece of paper. You're not working with a pencil. You're working with a tool and a completely blank slate. So, it wasn't that bad. You can see in the video, I will rewind back and show you, but there was a point where I just went and I tested all the pencil tools because I was just using the basic one the entire time, and none of them looked good. So, except for the basic one that I'd been using the entire time. So, there's definitely a difference in texture. Let's see, the last thing I have written down is gradients. So, if you look at Kenny's wings, you can definitely tell that there is a problem with gradients. So the one thing I really love about working in grayscale is doing the gradients because it's really easy to do. You just press down hard on the pencil and lighten up as you go down, and it looks so good. That's why most of my characters have some sort of gradient on them, or just some sort of gradient gimmick. But when working with this and only allowing myself to use the pencil tool, and how it sticks to one color period, basically, it wasn't easy to do. You can tell as I'm working on Kenny's wings, I have to switch between 4 different base colors. Then I have to go and mix an in-between color to fade them all out, and it still looks blocky. I mean, there's kind of a style to it that kind of looks cool, but, it's not the best. So definitely the gradients suffer because of that. There's there's a lot of differences between these. I really should have scripted myself for this episode. I'm sorry, guys. But anyways, there's definitely a difference between doing digital and on pencil and paper. And look at that, I'm out of footage. Great. We're going to go to a black screen. I'll fix it in post. But now let's talk about some of the pros of working on the iPad. So a big pro is that there is no smudging. When I work, I always have graphite like all the way up my hand, all of my hands, because I'm up and I'm working close with the pencil and everything in the sketchbook, and it's just a messy thing. And then all the pages rub together if you do multiple pages, and it's not fun. But on digital, you don't have to worry about smudging because, it's digital. It doesn't smudge. You can't smudge a digital drawing, like point blank period, unless you're purposely trying to. And that's a really big pro because smudging is so annoying. Another big pro is that you have the undo button. I love the undo button. It's the main reason I really wanted to do digital art, because when I was doing the plain speed arts, the paper speed arts, I'd always be super scared to start lining it because I knew if I lined it bad, then there was no going back. Like, there was nothing I could do. But in digital art, you can do stuff. You can undo it. You can erase it. You can erase your lining. And it's a godsend. It's great. So I definitely love the undo button. And then the last pro is layers. Layers are always a big pro because you can have your lining and then have your stuff right next to it and have your color right next to it, and your lining is always going to be above that color. So your color isn't going and messing up the lining and everything. And it makes it nice, super easy, awesome, great. And I really like that. When I was starting this challenge, I was going to lay down some rules like only using the pencil and eraser tool, no using layers, no using the undo, but I caved pretty quickly into using the undo and the layers because I love them so much. So those are definitely big pros. And the cons were basically all the observations I made earlier. So in all, I thought it was pretty good exercise. It's cool to see a completely different digital art style. I definitely have a much different, especially when it comes to color, a different style when it comes to digital and physical. I can speak, I swear. When it comes from digital to physical. And just seeing that kind of bridge together, and seeing my normal digital next to the Sketchbook Comic Mimic digital is just so fun and enjoyable, and it's really cool. I wish I had not, lost half the footage, because otherwise I'd have the perfect amount of footage for this video, almost exactly to the minute. But, of course I lost it. I'd be the one to lose the footage. I lose footage all the time. All the time. There are so many speed arts that I lost the footage on. And I'm getting on a tangent. Anyways, that's about it for this video. This was pretty much non-scripted, besides my few observations. If you guys really like the non-scripted, kind of like the Draw With Me episodes, then be sure to like the video, subscribe, and leave a top hat in the comments. Yeah, just leave a top hat. Make sure I know that you got to the end of the video and that you want to see more of this, because writing scripts is hard, and if I don't have to write a script, that's fun. Anyways, that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. It was really fun for me to make. And, I'll see ya.